What made you realize? Two, that's when the game became ours. See, three, that's when we showed you the future. This here, it's
Yo, what's up, everybody? Assalamu alaikum out there to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. It's your boy Amin, and welcome to UnScripted HipHop. This is the first ever episode. This is something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. Kind of bring out to the world, my thoughts, my critiques, my opinions on what's going on in hip-hop, since I'm a really big hip-hop fan. Always loved it since, I was a little kid growing up. And I thought that it was about time for me to kind of, bring what I think about the, hip-hop world out to the internet and social media. Really inspired by, recently been watching a lot of, videos on YouTube, different people critiquing albums, mixtapes, having different hip-hop conversations. So shout out to @DeadEndHipHop. All those guys, they really, inspired me to do this. They do a lot of great work. And so I decided to get in on a lot of the fun. All right, so UnScripted HipHop, what we're going to do is talk about mixtapes, talk about albums, give you my opinions, review them, and I know maybe you can kind of get a taste of something before you actually hear it. Let's see what happens. But on today's episode, our first ever episode, we will be discussing, you guessed it, Lil Wayne's The Dedication 4. Now, before we get into the actual critique of the mixtape, which I do have a lot to say, but I kind of just want to take a step back and talk about what I think about Lil Wayne. And truth be told, I have been a huge Wayne fan since the beginning. Like, I'm thinking when I was like 12 or something, there was the Carter one, and I was just like, dang, who is this dude? Like, he's on there spitting hard, his metaphors are sick, his flow wasn't like anybody I heard before. And so I kind of, my ear caught it, and I just kind of stuck with it for a while. And, he then started to put out a body of work that was pretty extensive, and it went from like the Carter 1 to the Carter 2, which I think Carter 2 is probably my favorite, album he's ever put out. But outside of his, mainstream albums that he's putting out, there was a slew of mixtapes. You got the Drought series, the Drought is Over series, the Dedication series, which is kind of what's been led up to this point. And up until about the Carter 3, Wayne's kind of been consistent on, his rap style. It's been really good metaphors, great simile, great delivery, the ability to kind of like take a story and tell it through rap, tell it through hip hop. It's been great. But I guess he's been going through some things in his personal life that kind of affected how we viewed his music. There was that whole lean situation, him being on drugs for a long time. That really did alter his music. And one after another, he started picking up more things, such as skateboarding, which I don't want to get into. But he started skateboarding, and instantly you could kind of see the direction of his music changing. And that's what he did with the Dedication 4. So here it is. Before we start with the negatives about this mixtape, I'm going to say some positives. Positives with this mixtape. It's definitely a little more Weezy F Baby versus Lil Tunechi that we've heard recently. And with Lil Tunechi, I mean, the really slow delivery, not really thought out metaphors. It's kind of a little bit, he kind of stepped his game up as far as that goes on this mixtape. And he's definitely a punchline rapper at this point. Every single song is a collection of punchlines. It's like 1, 2, 3, bam, punchline. 1, 2, 3, bam, punchline. And that's extremely evident. There's not one song on this entire mixtape where he starts with one concept of a story and continues it. There's nothing like Hustler music. There's nothing like, a lot of his stuff that he used to tell stories with. And yeah, so Weezy F Baby. First track, and so the positives, the positive. His I guess the punchlines are a little bit better than what we've been hearing lately, but still, this is not the Lil Wayne that I expect to hear when I pick up a mixtape. You know, this is supposed to be mixtape Wheezy that a lot of greats have called it, like Jay-Z said mixtape Wheezy. Like, people respect what Lil Wayne has done on mixtapes because it's not that commercial sound, but you get that raw, unadulterated hip-hop. And, yeah, this is really not my cup of tea or coffee. Doesn't really do anything for me. So, another positive for the mixtape. I'll just say that when it comes to the beats that he chose for the mixtape, it was pretty simple. He kind of just went on a popular hip-hop site, saw what were the most trending songs, the most popular songs, and he just took them. You know, you have Amen, Magic, So Sophisticated, No Lie, I Don't Like. So, you know, very mainstream hip-hop beats out there. And personally, you know, I'm a fan of, you know, trunk rattling music. I like it. And for a mixtape, I think it's appropriate. But now we're just going to move on to the negatives of the tape. The fact that every single song, no matter what the beat, is the same exact thing. And I promise you, every single song, one of his main spheres of involvement as far as his lyrics is sex. Like, how much can you talk about sex? You are a 30-year-old man. You have a teenage daughter. And you're in here talking about how you're eating this woman out and you need 6 to 3 different women at the same time. And the first line on the mixtape is, she's so sophisticated, she tried to catch a nigga nuttin' and refrigerate it. What? Come on, son. Are you kidding me? What is this trash? Like, literally, that's from track 1 on the So Dedicated all the way until the end for the I Wish You Would track. It's how much lean he's drinking, which got him in a lot of trouble in the beginning. How many females, you know, he's smashing, and that he smokes weed. And, like, you can do that as a rapper, but make it interesting. Like, it's not creative. It's really simple. 1, 2, 3 punchline. I did this. That's it. I'm on 7 minutes already. Gotta wrap this up. But, yeah, very highly disappointed. As far as the features go, I thought there were going to be bigger names on this, but as far as what he brought, you know, I expected the usual crew. You got your Young Money people, Gutta Gutta, J Mills, Nicki Minaj. Her verse was pretty decent. I didn't mind that on the Mercy track. But there's definitely one standout track for me on this mixtape, and that's the Green Ranger track featuring J. Cole. All those who love J. Cole, please don't be worried. He did his damn thing on this mixtape. And it was kind of embarrassing for Wayne to get on right after Cole because he didn't even stand close to, you know, the lyrical prowess that, you know, J. Cole delivered on the track. The beat was a little simple for me. I think it was an original beat, but I'm not sure. But Cole, he wrecked that track. So if you want to check that one out, do so. But as far as all the other tracks, you're getting simple punchlines, no creative, you know, put together. There's no storytelling. But I do like, you know, trunk rattling music sometimes, but this is not what I expected from Wayne. I expected him to go back to the mixtape Wheezy. I was highly disappointed. But you know, if I'm ever, you know, riding around, I might, you know, put a couple songs on just, you know, to feel the bass. But yeah, if you're a true Wayne fan and you were thinking about this might be his saving grace, don't count on it, Lil Wayne. You might need to do something else. So that's my take on Lil Wayne's The Dedication 4. This is UnScripted HipHop. Hit us up with comments down below if you have anything you want to say. If you have any, hit us up for, you know, if you have a request for us to review a certain tape or album, do so. You can follow me on Twitter at the Sudani Sigma. And yeah, UnScripted HipHop.